Well, today it's a rainy day, and I'm just running out to the greenhouse. Yep, the wind blew down my bamboo, and I need to get out there and lift it up, but it's quite heavy. So I'm just walking out to the greenhouse to get my tripod because I am going to share something a little bit different with you. Everything's getting watered in. It's been trying to snow, but so far not doing much. Thank goodness. I'm just happy with the rain. So we'll go on out here and grab the tripod, and then we will go up into my office and talk a little bit about something in there. So I've got to finagle this door open. It's swelled with the water. So I'll just turn you off here, and then I'll be right back. My girl's down there trying to come say hello. I see their water is low, so I need to turn that on before I go back in. So yeah, look, the wind blew that over there. Wind blew a lot of things around last night. Had some pretty good gusts, and it was whipping through the house, and you could hear the eerie sounds of it blowing. Kind of like those, I don't know if you ever watched those black and white monster movies of years ago, but that's what it sounded like, the sound effects of that with the creepy wind blowing. All right, I'm gonna turn on their water, and then we're gonna walk on in the house. Okay, that's done. We're gonna grab the tripod again and walk on in. Now a little bit later, I'm gonna come on out to Primrose Cottage, and I have a sign I need to make for a friend. Their 50th anniversary is coming up, and she's an avid gardener. So I was gonna make her a garden sign for a gift. And then I am gonna be setting up to start a new painting class that I am taking, that I'm gonna learn from. Something I can help me to loosen up. But yeah, it's drippy out here, and it's quite beautiful without snow. All right, on up to the office we go. Hey garden friends, welcome back to Flower Patch. Today we are in my office, aka grow room, and I wanted to share with you my red banana that I bought last summer at Costco for 30 bucks, and it was about this tall. And as you can see, it's doing okay inside. It's got a little browning on the leaves. We're going to talk about how it's doing, what I've been doing to help it overwinter in here, and how I'm going to proceed forward. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and or share with your friends. Somebody may also be trying to overwinter a red banana inside their house. Alrighty, first of all, I will bring you up close here in a minute, but can you see, I know the lighting is in here weird. It's a very dark, rainy day, and the lighting in here is less than optimum, but it is what it is. This is my grow rack, where I have my grow lights, and where I have my plants that I start seeds. I only have a few up there. I'm trying really hard not to get started too early, because that just makes more work for myself. And I can't plant out until late May for many things. So yeah, it's hard because I really want to dig in. And so many others are already digging in, and it just makes me want to itch. But I'm trying to behave this year and think of my future in the next few months, where I don't want to be overworked or overwhelmed taking care of them when it's really not necessary for me to start that early. All right, back to my red banana. This is the red Abyssinian banana. And like I said, I got it. It was a very short plant. But, you know, bananas are not going to overwinter for me here in the mountains. And even though I'm a zone 8B, there's no way that this would live outside. So I brought it here into my office because that's where I had space for it. And I also have a grow light up here that was shining down on it. I turned that off, and I'm going to show you why. So let's see if I can get this in the camera. First of all, here's this leaf. Do you see how like burnt it is? Maybe I could pull one of these others around here. Look at this one. This one, you see how it has the burnt edges, crispy? Well, as it was growing out, because it started way down here, way down there, and these leaves started coming out after I brought it in the house. And let me see if I can pull you down a little bit more. You can see this one right here, this one, and the ones further down. And I have ones further down in there that are dried up. Those ones are going to come off, and we're going to remove those. I'll show you one. This is a good shot. Back there. You see that one? I could not figure out what in the world was going on. My banana tree, I have a hardy banana that is supposed to live outside here, even through the winter. It's a perennial. All bananas are perennial plants. Did you know they're not really trees? That was a surprise to me. But the one, as I said, I have downstairs, hardy banana, will live through the winters. I just didn't want to risk it. And I overwintered it inside last year down in my dining room. But it wasn't doing this. It didn't have these burn marks. And so I was looking up, doing a little research, and it says too strong a sun. So in here it's not getting sun. So that meant this light, this grow light, which is one I bought in Lowe's, and I'll get you up close to it in a minute, was too much. And I didn't think that was possible because, you know, it's up here, and these were down here when they got started. I got another one coming up in the middle. So what I'm going to do now, I just turned it off, and these new leaves coming out do not have those scorch marks on them. Now this one, nope, along this edge right here it does, but it's close to that light. That's amazing because I didn't think these were that bright. These are kind of cheap ones from Lowe's. They're LED grow lights. I got them on sale. They're very cheaply made. So I didn't think they were that bright or strong, but just this edge against that light, and it's getting singed looking. So even that, I probably should shove it further back against the wall, and there is room to do that. I have a stool back there I need to move. So anyways, I am going to clean this plant up, and I'm going to take you along and tell you what I do. I got to figure out a knife or something to cut those bigger leaves off. I think a big, like old carving knife will do the job, and or maybe some scissors. So I will go get my tools, come back, I'll bring you down here close, and we will start grooming this red banana tree. Well, it looks like I am going to have to remove this upper leaf. I got a towel just in case, because some of these banana leaves put out a lot of moisture. This upper leaf, so you can see me take care of the lower leaves. Now there is these little white bugs all over it, and I spray it down and wipe it down every now and then. I'm just taking, here's my knife. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a busted tip, and it's just one I keep on hand for miscellaneous chores like this. And I'm just cutting the leaf off. And now you can see further down. You can see the dried leaves at the base. And I should have done this sooner. I do know that. It's just that I was leaving it for a time that I could bring you along. And these ones that are dried up, I'm just going to cut with my scissors and place on this towel I have here. Ooh, these ones just pull out from the base, which is nice. Go around it. This will make it look so much nicer. And then I'll just toss these out side to deteriorate in the rain and snow. Fill in that. I'm just pushing the soil back around the stem there. Let me see if that will pull. No, it won't. So I'm just going to cut it. Hopefully I can see, you can see a little bit. I'm on the back side, I know. I guess I could turn it around here. Now all these little plants in here are seemingly doing okay. Let me see, that looks like it might be some kind of spider mite, I don't know. But one is this asparagus-y fern type plant. I'm surprised, I did not expect any of them to survive in here. Well, that one can pull out. I didn't get the leaf in the way, did I? Okay, those I'm going to cut off too. So yeah, push that down there. Soil's getting a little dry. I need to water it. Yeah, at first when it was drying out, I thought I hadn't watered it enough. And then I found out that wasn't the case. So then I, like I said, did a research. And if it gets too much sunlight, too harsh a sunlight, it will do that. And then so I figured out it was that grow light, which I did turn it on so that you could see down here it lit it up. So now I'm going to go up. I should cart off all these because it's getting bulky. And then I'll come and clean off the other ones that are rather burnt. So here is a few more. I had to go dump. I had quite a few. I couldn't believe how many. I waited too long to do this for sure. Dump those out, and now I got to take these off. Oh, here's my scissors. I wonder if the scissors, oh, probably the knife is best. So I'm going to get in here with this one and cut it off. And this one needs to be cut off as well. I don't even know if I'm doing this right, so I'm just taking off all the burnt, scruffy looking leaves. See how that's burnt looking? And this one's coming off next. Now I'm going to turn that light off as soon as I'm done here so that it doesn't burn any more of the plant. And then I'm going to wipe it down to get rid of or beat back some of those bugs. Let's pull this up and I will do this one down here. Okay, now the plants that are left, the leaves that are left, are in good shape and not too overly burnt. So there's two big ones and there's one coming up from the center. Let me point you up there so you can see it. So it's these two healthy leaves and this new one coming up the center. And I'm not sure if you can see them or not. I gotta step on these leaves I cut off. But there's all these little white bugs on it. And they're putting out a sap that's making the floor sticky. Here, if you can see this on there, little bugs. They have been on it. I have sprayed it with my rosemary spray, and it did beat them back, but it has not eliminated them. So I need to probably spray it again. But I just try to keep coming in and wiping it down. And it doesn't seem to have affected any of my other plants. So maybe these ones just kind of really like the bananas. I don't know. But there, I just try to clean them up as best as I can and be good with it. Now, the places where I cut further down, down in here, I can see some of them that were kind of in the crevices of those areas. I also have bugs and I'm just wiping them down and I'm wiping the backs of the plants. Sorry if I bumped you. And that is how I give it a bath. It helps with dust too if you have dust, but these ones don't really have much dust on them. So there we go. I will be cleaning up some of the plants down there in the base that look like they're dying back, but a lot of them look like they're doing just fine. And I'll water it well and go from here. And I'll just make sure to push it a little bit more away from the light rack so it won't get the singed edges like it has so far. And guess I'll keep that in mind when I put it outside next summer, that it likes bright light but not the scorching sunlight. So over here I was going to share with you my light rack even more. Now someone asked me about, whoops, let me get this straight, how far away I put my plants, my seedlings, from the lights. And you know, I just have them on chains. When they're first sprouting, I have them pretty close. See down here? I'm trying to move my gimbal here. Not gimbal, but tripod. But see down there, I have the roses and I have my humidifier going because I don't have a lid on to create humidity. But over there in the terracotta is I have some basil, and then right there, right directly under the light, I have some petunias, wave petunias that are growing. And then I have another container of petunias up here. So that one's further away from the light. But that basically is my light rack. I don't have very many things going on it, and I explained earlier why, and I will basically be starting to fill it up when I get really into more and more seed starting this year. I guess I should get over there and talk to you, huh? this year, I am really focusing on a lot more winter sowing rather than indoor sowing. Now I will do later on tomatoes, peppers, other things in here, my zinnias, cosmos, and other things that like it really, really warm. And all the others, I'm trying to really dive into more winter sowing because it's kind of hands off and a little less work, because in here I have to make sure I keep watered and other things. And if we end up traveling, then I have to have somebody come and take care of it. And it's very possible that we will be traveling a bit more. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. So that is my light setup. This is the rack from Costco that I will put up. I think I have a clip of the last time we were there. They was in the center aisle, and I showed it and how much it was. I think they're $119 right now at Costco. And then these lights here, those I got on Lowe's. I'll see if I can find them again and link to them. The lights behind were another grow light. I think I got those from Lowe's too, but it was a different type. These are LED. I've been switching my regular. This is a regular shop light down here. And then it used to have fluorescence in it. And then I've been buying the bulbs, the T12s, that are LED and replacing the fluorescence in here. But, you know, for years I just used the fluorescence. Now, the only thing about the LEDs is they don't put out as much heat as the fluorescence, and that made it kind of nice because then I didn't really need heat mats all over, and the heat would come up from here up to the bottom of these, but it's okay. LEDs use less power, therefore it's less expensive, because that's a consideration you want to take in or keep in mind is all these racks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, and you're going to have 2. I have 2 of the light fixtures and then 2 bulbs in that. So you've got all of that going on. I leave them on 14 hours a day. That draws power. And so it is going to affect your power bill. So LEDs, yes, it's a lot less, but still, it's just something to consider and factor into your costs of growing from seed. Whereas the winter sowing, for what I'm doing, it's the, what is it? The cost of the soil, potting soil I put in it, and then the outdoors does everything else. Now I will agree or let you know that some years are better than others as far as the winter sowing method, because last year we had such heavy, deep snows, it smashed my containers and I lost most of it. And so this year it's been lighter. It's rainy out there. It's been trying to snow, but this is February. And last year at this time we had we had tons of snow and it just was unbelievable. But that's not a normal year. So hopefully in a normal year, my winter sowing is very successful and I don't do it all at once. I stagger it and I take into consideration the type of seeds, their needs, and all of that. So that is that, and that is all about my shelf rack, light rack with my starts and how I do it. That's basically it. They're hung with chains, and then I can lower or raise them, but I rarely do. I'm too lazy. So a lot of times I'll have, like this one under here. Oh, let me get this. Sometimes I use boxes, empty boxes from shipments and stuff. But this one, I put this on the shelf, and then I put the plant tray on it, and it gets it closer to the light. I don't, and then when they get a little bit taller, then I can remove the box and then put the container on the shelf itself. So, like I said, I'm lazy. I always have extra boxes from getting shipments, and that's just instead of raising and lowering the light with a chain. And the rule of thumb, now I just read another article that LED, you want them a foot away, whereas with the fluorescents, you were supposed to keep them, just 2 inches above the plants. But I don't know how accurate that is, because I don't know if the cheap LED bulbs work the same as more expensive ones. So as far as the lumens, so it depends on how much light they're emitting. So that's something that you may want to look at yourself. I try not to be too fussy about it. If I think the plants are getting a little too leggy, I'll put them closer to the light. That's it. Also, I usually have a fan. I have my fan over there blowing across, and that helps them to produce an enzyme that helps them to be shorter and stockier. That just builds some strength in them. Now, many times your plants that you grow from seed will not necessarily be as stocky as the ones you see in garden centers. And that's because they put something on them. They water in the water or whatever that makes them shorter, keeps them shorter rather than getting tall and leggy. And that's why yours may look a little more spindly. I don't want to say spindly, but get leggy or taller and narrower than the short bushy ones at a garden center. So it's not you, it's not your growing method, it's that you're not using that amendment, I don't know what to call it, treatment that keeps them shorter. It's a chemical treatment. So that being said, I will see you in my next video. I'm going to take you along and I'm going to talk to you about alfalfa, using alfalfa in the garden and why it can benefit you and how easy it is. So I used it for years. I love it. And I will share that all with you coming up soon. Okay.